Hey guys, Manic Mercurian here. So, I received an email a few weeks ago asking me about my sources and basically getting at how did I come to learn this information, how did I learn astrology and such. And I did respond, but I was thinking that maybe this would be good in a video because other people might benefit from this information as well. And my answer was it's really hard to pinpoint exact sources because there have been so many over the years. I call myself Manic Mercurian. I'm a very Mercurian character, so I'm going here and there, getting little tidbits from here and there, like a bee going to all these flowers. Okay, so there have been a lot of articles. There have been a lot of YouTubers that I've followed. There's been a lot, and it's been almost 10 years. So there's been a lot of information. I honestly haven't read a lot of books. I've bought a couple on astrology, but didn't they were too basic by the time I got to them that they didn't benefit me very much. But I have had a lot of sources online. However, my biggest tip would be to, do the research probably online, I would say, or whatever is comfortable for you. If you have books or some YouTubers you like to follow that are informational with astrology, or some articles, some websites, whatever you find comfortable, this information is pretty accessible. If you just Google signs, aspects, houses, any type of astrological information, planets, you can find this relatively easily. Find whatever works for you, but what I would say is to research it, learn about it that way. But then you have to go out in the field and learn from, quote unquote, hands on experience. So, for instance, something that really benefited me for the first couple years that I was really getting into astrology was working at a restaurant where there was a decent sized staff of people that I worked with who I could look up their charts. And, in addition to my family and friends, of course. So that was really beneficial for me because I was, learning a lot online, but then I could actually observe, through many people, like 2 to 3 dozen people, and see, do I actually are my experiences corroborating what I'm learning online? Because some patterns I would see, like, some textbook, takes on signs or planets or what have you are very tangible and very accurate, and you can see them by looking at people. But some things I found online didn't really hold up, or I didn't see it that way. And then also, I would notice my own observations. And so that's really what I would recommend because we each have our own point of view, and I don't, at least the way I learn, I don't think this information will really stick for you unless you observe it. It's one thing to just memorize something from a textbook, but it's completely different to, read something and then go out in the world and actually see it for yourself. I think that's really, profound in a way where you can actually see that what you've learned is true. So that's what I would say. And I have this kind of saying that I apply to astrology that, two is a coincidence, three is a pattern, and even three is pretty weak. You want a big database, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who are into astrology who maybe don't talk to people. Maybe you don't have a big database of people that you really associate with. And that's fine too. You can always look at celebrities. Of course, you won't have like intimate first-hand experience with most celebrities, but you can still observe their lives. You can still see them in interviews and movies, and so you can still observe a lot of rich information, even just from, celebrities or political figures or what have you. But whatever it is for you, find a big database of people. That way, you're not just looking at, let's say you want to learn more about this sun sign Aries. Well, you want to know at least a couple dozen Aries before you can start really like getting a hold of, what that sign is and start noticing patterns. Let's say you notice that, the example I used in the email was, let's say you notice two Virgos are really competitive. Well, that could be a coincidence. They could both happen to have really fiery charts. They could both be like Aries moon or something. Even three is a little weak, but if you notice, like, let's say you meet 20 Virgo sun signs, and in your opinion, 18 of those are all fiercely competitive. Well, by then you've pretty much established that, competitiveness must be a trait for Virgo suns. Now, I don't know if that actually is, a trait of Virgos, but that's just a hypothetical. So in short, I would say, get out there, look up the charts for many, many different people, and, uh, once you've looked up the charts for so many people, that's where you'll really start to notice those patterns. Also, before I started my own channel, I would listen to forecasts for from many different astrologers over the years, and a lot of them break it down by sun sign. I don't do that, but listening to that, I would just listen to them interpret planets and aspects and transits over and over and over again. And after a while, I just kept thinking, I could do that. So that's what I would recommend too. It wouldn't hurt at all to just expose yourself to those analyses of that astrological information. So that would really help your ability with analyzing aspects, and of course doing it yourself as well. You can do that as well. Look at transits and then use your own life as experience. Make predictions. It's almost scientific in a way. You can, see an upcoming transit for you and make a prediction and then observe, is it actually like that or is it different? And especially once you do this for years and start noticing some of the same transits year by year, almost like seasons, like you you probably have an idea of what each season is like in your area. So that's what many of these transits, a lot of transits we experience on a yearly or semi-yearly basis, and so it's almost like seasons where you can kind of notice patterns over the years and understand it that way. So this is getting a little bit ranty, but hopefully some of the things I've said have helped. And I'm just scouring this email to make sure I covered everything. That's pretty much it. I also, I'll link a video where I talk about 2 tips of astrology, but um, something I mentioned in the video is that I would doodle a lot. I would just doodle just like the zodiac, the 12 signs. I'd like label the elements and the modes of each sign and the seasons, and that helped a lot. Just early on, giving me that picture in my head of like how all the signs relate to one another, and that's really good because it gives you like a template of, you know, um, it gives you that potential for further analysis of the signs, and it allows you to kind of become more familiar with astrology in general, I guess. But anyway, again, hopefully this helps. This is just some general information about learning astrology. But if you have any questions, you don't have to email me just for reading. If you have any questions, I'd love to chat as well, or whatever. If I could help your learning in some way, that's what I'm here for. So if you do want to email me, you could send me a message at manic.mercurian@gmail.com. And I do want to say too, I am looking to have some other types of videos on here other than readings. I just have been pretty busy lately, but yeah, everyone, thanks for your support. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback from this, and I'm glad my information has been of integrity for you and that it has resonated and helped in some way. But at any rate, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.